right, and looks like we're live. So today we're going to be doing an easy full body dumbbell workout. We're going to be covering all the major muscle groups in the upper body and lower body. So doing legs, shoulders, arms, chest, and back. So really what I want to do with this is say it's really not that complicated to start working out. I want to help you with that. So I'm inviting you to join me, follow along with this workout. If you have any questions, let me know in the chat. And I hope that you start today if you haven't started, or keep on going if you've been working out and are making resistance training a part of your day-to-day life. So I really want to encourage you, pick up a dumbbell, let's do this together. So we're going to start by warming up the muscles that we're going to be working. We're going to start with the legs. So for this, we're going to be doing a dumbbell squat. So for my warm-up, I'm going to be grabbing a lighter dumbbell than I would be using for the workout. If you want to, you could also warm up doing body weight squats. For this, I'm going to hold this right in front of my hips. I'm going to have my feet about shoulder width apart. And from here, keeping my back straight, I'm going to bend my knees as much as possible, trying to get as low to the ground as I can. Now, on this one, the lower you go, the more of a quad exercise this is gonna be. So, right now we're just warming up the quads. If you feel like you can't go quite that low yet, that's okay. Go as low as you can. And maybe as you feel a little more warmed up, as the joint's starting to warm up, you might be able to go a little lower each time. Do about 10 of these. We're just trying to get blood flowing into the legs before we go to a heavier weight. So on this one, I'm starting with a 30-pound dumbbell. I'm going to be moving to a 50-pound dumbbell later, just to give you an idea of the weights I use. Now, a little bit of a lean forward is fine. The thing though is to keep your back straight as you do that. So really push your hips back so you don't arch your back forward. You want to keep that back straight. So the other exercise we're going to be doing is a hip bridge. So for this, you're going to lay on your back. So we're warming up these muscles too before we get started. You're going to put the weight right at your stomach, feet about shoulder width apart, keeping your knees apart at shoulder width as well. From here, you're going to push down through your heels, bringing your hips up to the front. Now this is great for glute activation. Really targets in on those glutes. Try and push all the way up where your hips are as high as your knees. Hopefully my mic's not digging into my chest. Try to push evenly through both feet. So this is called a hip bridge. And the dumbbell is just adding a little bit of weight. Your hands are just here holding it right over the top of your hips so it doesn't roll anywhere. Now you can see I'm sort of pressing down through my heels to get more of that glute activation, less of that quad. So the quads are up here, glutes are back here, so that's why my weight's on my heels. Just warming up those muscles before we go to the heavier weights. So, that was our warm-up set. Now we're going to be going to our working set. Excuse me. So the working set is where we really want to be going at a heavier weight, going for our full weight. So I'm going to be going for a 50-pound dumbbell, but you want to, what I would suggest is pick a dumbbell that is heavy enough where you feel challenged, but light enough where you can get at least 5 reps. If you can't get to 5, it's a little too heavy. Try a lighter one. I like doing legs first in the workout because I find they're the hardest. So it's easiest to do this when I'm most fresh. Just get these out of the way. So having the dumbbell, holding it right in front of you, just let your arms lock out, feet shoulder width apart, bending the knees down into a squat. So going down and then up. Now try not bounce out of the bottom. Just controlled movement all the way through. You don't have to hold it for very long. Just don't rubber band back up, because we want to reduce the risk of hurting your back, hurting your knees. I'm not so much keeping track of the count, because it's much more about what's happening in my muscle. What I'm trying to do is feel that muscle stretching and elongating. I should feel that tension right here in the front of my quads. Not letting my knees come together. And relax. So now we're gonna go to a hip bridge. So I like to keep the same weight for both these exercises. Putting the weight right over the top of my hips, pushing down through my heels, keeping my hips up, pushing them up to the front, squeezing my glutes together as I go. So you feel this right in the back of your hips. Trying to get at least 5, but trying to aim for more like 10 is a pretty safe number. Two more. Let's do 2 more. And relax. All right. So that was our first set of legs. We're gonna do a couple more sets of legs. Now, how many sets we do, how many sets we want to do is in a week's time, we want to do at least 5 sets of legs. So if for me, I worked out on Monday, did 3 sets of legs then, it means I want to get at least 2 sets of legs today, if not more. The more I can do, the more benefit I can get. So anywhere between 5 sets in a week and 20 sets in a week is acceptable. But the big thing is I want to be able to do just enough where by Monday I'm recovered, I'm not sore anymore, I can go back in and do another set of legs. So to do that, I'm trying to keep it to 3 and 3, see how I recover from Monday. So if you get to the second set of legs and feel like, man, I'm exhausted, I need to stop, go ahead and take a break. Come back on the next exercise, you've done enough. If it's completely tired out your legs, it's okay, you got your workout in. I'm gonna try and shoot for 3 sets today though, to hit that 6 sets in a week. So, grabbing a dumbbell, we're going back to a dumbbell squat. Now, if you have 2 dumbbells instead of 1 heavy one, that works too. You can either hold it sort of at your sides like this, or if they're the right size, you can hold 2 of them in front of you. But I'm using just 1 heavy dumbbell for this one. Feet about shoulder width apart, bending the knees, going down to the ground as low as you can, keeping your back straight, really bending those knees as much as possible. Almost like you're almost setting the dumbbell on the ground. If you can get that low. Now, if you're just joining us, we're doing dumbbell exercises for a full body workout. We're focusing on building muscle. Here to help encourage. If you're looking for a workout looking for building that muscle, I hope that you join me, because I think we all need to keep our muscle healthy, no matter if you're 20 or 80 years old. We can all benefit from resistance training and keeping our body happy and healthy. Heart rate's going really fast on this one. It's always more tiring to do legs. That's why I like to get it out of the way first. How about you guys? Do you like to do legs first or upper body first in your workouts? Let me know. All right, doing hip bridge. This is set number 2. So these work those glutes in the back. So pushing down through your heels, having the dumbbell right on your stomach, pushing up, squeezing those glutes together. I find this really helps my lower back as well, and my spine. Two more. Oh, and relax. You might feel this in the back of your thigh as well. So those hamstrings and those glutes working in this exercise. I think, so it's really important to strengthen the glutes, because if your glutes aren't strong enough to do this movement, that hip hinge, so what happens, people start hinging at their back, and then they have low back pain, they might even herniate a disc, and that's no good for anybody. So we want to keep those hips strong, keep that back protected, and it's like a belt of muscle around your body, keeping it safe. So you've got this transverse abdominis, these muscles that work to do that, but if the hips aren't strong, then those other muscles have to do things that aren't their job. Lavish or Lavesh says, W. Greg, hey, welcome, good to have you. So we are finishing up our last set of leg exercises. Then we'll move to some upper body exercises. I like to get the legs out of the way first because I find they're the hardest thing to do. So I like to knock them out at the beginning when everything is nice. I'm not feeling as tired. How about you guys? Do you like getting legs out of the way first? If you're doing a full body day, or do you save them to the end? So doing a dumbbell squat, holding that dumbbell right in front of your hips. Just keep your arms straight. You don't need to try and hold it up like this. Just let it hang to the ground. Feet about shoulder width apart. Bending your knees, keeping your back straight. You can even tap the dumbbell on the ground if you're able. Now, I'm trying to go for somewhere between 5 and 30. The exact rep count doesn't matter too much. Just going till I feel that muscle tiring out. I should feel that quad really burning right about now. Keep your knees out over the top of your toes. So don't let them buckle inwards. And relax. Whew. These always take more cardio to do. So we're actually getting a cardio workout at the same time if you're just going one to the next. So your heart rate should stay pretty high. If you ever need to take a minute, catch your breath, that is okay. Just do it between sets. Or you might, if you're following along and need a moment, you can either pause the video or just come back on the next set. All right, we're gonna do a hip bridge. Putting the dumbbell right on your stomach. You can line it up right about where your belly button is, so that way it doesn't bump into your hip bones. And hands here, securing the dumbbell, pushing down through your heels, bridging your hips up to the front, and then back. You should feel this in your glutes, in the back of your hips, all the way down, all the way high as you can, and back. If you have any questions or comments, let me know in the chat. Or if you've heard this, call it a different name. I would love to hear what people call this exercise. I've always heard this called a hip bridge or a dumbbell hip bridge. And relax. For me, those hamstrings in the back really burn on this one. Feel it some in my glutes and especially in my hamstrings. Now, the further out your legs are, the more hamstrings work on that one. The more your knees are tucked in, the more it's those glutes that are working. So if you ever have trouble feeling it in your glutes, bend your knee a little bit more, get a little more of that glute activation. Whew. So we're just gonna take a moment, catch your breath. I like to do exercises in pairs, and usually those pairs are supersets, which means they're different muscles or no overlapping muscles in the two exercises. So this one has some overlap, but I find that I can still pair them together. The next one is going to be much more distinct. So we're going to be doing chest, tricep, and front of the shoulder muscles in one exercise, and then bicep, lats, and back of the shoulder muscles. So we're going to hit both sides of the upper body in 2 exercises. So let's go ahead and get this out of the way for a second. And I'm going to grab a bench. Now, if you don't have a bench, you could do this laying down on a bed or on the ground. Both of those could work. But what I'm gonna do for this, actually, I'm gonna warm up a little bit first. Hang on. So I'm gonna grab a lighter dumbbell. And warm up first, and I'll show how to do the exercise. So we're going to be doing chest. So laying on your back, you're going to have your hands right over the top of your shoulders, and from here, elbows out to the sides, going as low as you can, trying to keep your elbows in line with your hands. So bending those elbows, bringing the inside of the dumbbell to your chest. You feel this in your chest muscles, in the back of your arms, and the front of your shoulder. Doing about 10 of these for warm up. Just go to you should feel that shoulder getting a little smoother, because there's actually lubrication that gets released into your shoulder joint. as we do this. It's priming that shoulder to work, or priming that chest to work. And now we're gonna do a row as well. So these are the two exercises we're doing in a pair. So for the row, you could do this even on a chair, just putting one hand on the bench or on a chair, letting the other arm hang down, pulling up to your rib cage, hang and up. So the important part is actually to go to a full hang. So up to the rib cage, fully hanging down. Now my thumb is not pointed straight up or straight in. It's kind of at a 45-degree angle. It should feel like a very natural movement. And same thing on the other side. So this hand's just supporting, kind of just straight arming so I don't hit the ground with my dumbbell. Just feel that in your upper back, some in your bicep. This is hitting a lot of the major muscle groups of the upper body. So hit the major muscles of the lower body. Now we're moving to upper body. Now again, so when picking your weight, you want to pick heavy enough where it's fatiguing. Somewhere around 10 is a good number. The exact reps though don't matter too much. So if you can do more than 5 or less than 30, anywhere in that range is fine. So if you've got one set of dumbbells, that's totally fine. Just do reps until you feel that muscle fatiguing. You might feel burning sensation or a stretching, pulling sensation. Shouldn't be painful, but it should be difficult. Or it should be challenging, I should say. Now these movements are very complicated. It's just go until you feel a little bit of challenge in the muscle is what you want to aim for. So I like to put these on my knees, so that when I lean back, my knees push up. And then same thing going back, just adjusting in the bench. So here, right over the top of my shoulders, bringing the dumbbell to the inside of my chest, and then back. Or, inside the dumbbell to the outside of my chest. The lower you go, the better. Only go as far as is not painful on your shoulders though. If you have pain in your shoulders, don't go into that pain. Just stop right before that hurts. You might need to reduce the weight a little bit. Try that and see if that pain goes away. Might just mean you're going a little too heavy too fast. Right at your chest line. Elbows can go in a little bit towards your rib cage, but trying to keep the weights right at the chest line. And relax. All right, so go ahead and set one dumbbell to the side. I like to keep the same weight in both pushing and pulling. So I take that 40 pounds, now I let it hang, pull up to my rib cage. So this is set number 1. Now this is working the bicep, the lats, back of the shoulder, and posterior deltoid. So, any of those muscles should feel that burn. I'm going to a full hang too. So almost trying to tap the ground with that dumbbell and then come back up. If you're just joining us, we're doing a follow along workout, working the upper body right now. We just finished the lower body, now we're doing the upper. 3 more, 2 more. Last one, and relax. Grab me a quick sip of water. Now, switching to the other side. Hands supporting underneath your shoulder, back straight, and pulling up to the back. 1. Try and keep it about even on both sides. I think I did 12 on the other side. So I'm gonna try to do 12 on this side. I tend to like to start on my left arm. So I find my right arm is a little bit stronger. So that way I keep it even between the 2 sides. So, if you're doing one side at a time, I'd always start with your non-dominant side. Gonna take just a minute to let my heart rate come back down. Working hard. Now I've heard that called a supported bench row. Let me know in the comments if you have another name for that one. It's warm today. So, exercising is pretty simple. It's pretty easy in one sense. And it's not hard to know that it's working. The hard thing is, I find, to keep going with it. So that's what I want to do, and why I'm here is I want to help encourage people to get up and get started, and not feel embarrassed about working out and sweating and working hard, because that's how we get stronger, is by working out, by challenging those muscles. And if we don't maintain it, we lose it. So I don't want you guys to lose your muscle. I want you to gain muscle. I want you to be strong and healthy and happy. So that's why I'm doing this, to help people figure out a workout plan that works for them and to stick to it, to be here to help you guys work through it. So I know I'm tired. Hopefully you're feeling tired too. That means we're doing something, we're accomplishing something. So if you leave the gym not feeling a little tired, I feel like you're not actually getting the progress you wanted to in growing muscle. Like, that's just not how muscle gets challenged and worked. At least not for hypertrophy training. Maybe in some other types of training, but not for hypertrophy. Or for hypertrophy is growing muscle size. So for muscle size training, for building up that muscle tissue, you need to challenge yourself, and it's so good that you are. I'm glad you guys are here. So let's go ahead and keep on going. We've got 2 more sets to do, and then we can call it a day. So we should be able to get done in under an hour and have all of our major muscle groups covered. So we're gonna head back to the bench press, working our chest and pushing muscles. So putting the dumbbells on your knees and then laying back, kicking your knees up to get them right over the top of your shoulders. From here, Dropping the dumbbells to your chest, bending those elbows, then pushing back out to the front. Going until you feel that burning, stretching feeling in your chest. You might feel it in the back of your arms too. Whichever one fatigues faster, that's where you're gonna feel it. Now I'm going not to complete lockout, where my arms aren't completely straight. I'm going to where it's right above my chest, and then back down, keeping tension on the muscle the whole time. You can see I'm slowing down. That's because I'm getting close to that muscle fatigue. That's where we're really growing. And that was set number 2 of chest. Now we're gonna go set number 2 of back and shoulders. So doing a supported row, working one side at a time, hand on your bench or on a chair, the other arm holding that dumbbell, letting it hang down to the ground, pulling up to your rib cage, trying to keep count of how many you've done on your non-dominant arm, so because we're going to repeat that on our dominant arm. Now I'm letting my thumb go to sort of a 45-degree angle, so it's not straight up and down or straight left and right. Just naturally pulling up to my rib cage. Two more. And relax. And going for the same thing on the other side. So supporting with that arm, letting this other arm hang, back straight, pulling up to the back. Halfway there. Wow. And relax. Now you might find as you go, your heart rate is going faster and faster the longer you've been going. That's normal. There's a concept called cardiac drift, where as you're exerting yourself and exercising, your body is heating up more and more. So more and more blood has to circulate, and your heart has to go faster to keep cool. So it's okay to take a minute between, or a couple minutes between sets, if you need to. The important thing is getting through all of your sets. If you can do that one to the next, you'll get through faster. It's hard on your heart, but if you can do it, you can hear I'm breathing a little fast. That's normal. You can expect to see that in the gym. Don't be like, oh, I'm so out of shape, I'm breathing heavy. No, you're challenging your heart, you're pushing your body. And that's good. It means you're working and challenging and growing. So if you feel like, oh man, I'm breathing heavy, I'm flush, I'm sweating, that's what the gym is for. You're doing a good job. So as long as it's not getting to a point where you feel like, I'm just gonna crash, maybe you're feeling lightheaded, you can't keep going, take a minute, slow down a little bit, just a little bit, let your heart come down just a little so that you can keep going, finish your goal for that day. As long as you set a reasonable goal. That's why I like to say at the beginning of the week, how many sets am I trying to get in this week for this exercise? Divide that between the exercises I have, the exercise days I have. So say a Monday and a Friday, or Monday, Wednesday, Friday. And then that's how many sets are my goal for that day. So let's say I have a goal of 9 sets in a week. That'd be 3 sets, 3 sets, and 3 sets. So I know if I get done with 1 set and I'm completely exhausted, probably need to back off a little bit. Take a moment, take some rest, go in the next 2 sets. So we're gonna go ahead and keep on going with our last set of upper body. Working the chest muscle and triceps. So grabbing 2 dumbbells and setting them right on your knees to kick up into position. And from here, dropping the dumbbells to your chest. Should feel more burning this last one usually. So if you can't quite get as many reps on the 3rd set, that is okay. Just go to where you feel challenged. Don't hold your breath either. Keep breathing. And last one, push it up, push, 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 and relax. All right. Setting 1 dumbbell down. Last set, guys. Are you still with me? You know, I feel tired too. If you feel tired, great. You're doing a good job. Just want to encourage you, stick with it. Let's get through this last set together. Whew, then we can have a nice weekend after. It is Friday, right? Right? At this point in the sets, it's a little bit, everything is blurring together. Pulling up to the back. Now on this one, I'm probably more reasonably only gonna get 10 reps because my muscles are more tired, but I'm gonna try and get 10 good reps. So all the way down. It's burning right about now. Last one, and relax. It's a strong way to finish the week. We'll have 2 days of recovery after this. So if you've been working out with me through this week, try and take the weekend off, get rest, get plenty of food and water, and come back fresh on Monday. So if you like this sort of workout, want to see more, I host these live streams on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 11 Pacific time, 11 a.m. Pacific time. So hope to see you guys there. If you're looking to build muscle, stay active, I'm here to help. So thanks everyone for being here, and hope you stay happy and healthy. Take care, you guys.